Hello?
Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting ID followed by pound. Enter your participant ID followed by pound. Otherwise, just press pound to continue.
Okay. Hey, this is John. Who's there?
You've got Dan here on Zoom.
Oh, great. Okay, Dan.
Well, address,
Well, one-
it's Dan. and-
Just doing.
Yeah, just Dan's the only one that,
Okay. All right. Well,
It says here on my Zoom, it looks like Fred, the mayor's on here too, it looks like.
yeah.
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah,
with
he's
us.
here.
I think
Oh,
it just went on to see if you were there.
paying attention?
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, I will call this March 16, 2021 meeting of the Retirement Board to order. We have all in attendance except for Sharon Wadecki, right? So all are present. So I will ask Roger Cotting to stand in as an alternate for Sharon. Okay, first order of business, so we don't have any presentations, is that correct? Okay. All right, so the first order of business is review and approval of the February 16th meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, Roger. Okay, are there any comments or changes to the minutes?
But just out of curiosity, why does it say amended? Why does it say amended?
Say that again, please.
Why does it say amended?
No, just say what your comment is.
No, it says the meetings were amended.
Yeah, we had to add an agenda item after it was already posted in the clerk's office.
Got it, okay.
Okay, I'm just looking to see where you see the,
Well, it says Retirement Board regular meeting, 16th February, amended minutes. So I was just wondering, why is that all?
okay. Gotcha, I see, okay. All right, any comments? No? If not, all in
Yeah,
favor?
hey, John.
Oh, wait. Go ahead, Dan.
I had some other comments on items 9 and 10 both. For each thing we voted on, in the words, it said that Sharon had made the motion, I had seconded the motion, but in the gray block where it has the summary, it basically says you had made the motion and Sharon had seconded it. So the words in each write-up
Gotcha.
in the gray box are inconsistent. I believe the gray box is correct on all of them. I believe you moved it and Sharon seconded it. So,
I agree. Okay, so we just need to change those words then.
right, and I think it's on
yeah, I see.
4 of the items, I think.
Gotcha, I see that.
Okay.
Okay, so it's got seconder, right, okay, all right, we'll fix that, okay? All right, so all in favor of the amended, minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. All right, okay, Don?
We're gonna defer most motions, I don't have anything to report, we'll read this in, but we did the RFP, that has been done and sent out, so,
We've done the RFP and it's out, and it's, due April 1st, we'll have the results. We think that 4 firms will be, well, we only sent it to 4 firms because, Chris said they are the only ones doing actuarial work for municipal pensions. So, and we got an indication from 3 of the 4 that they're going to be submitting a proposal. So, everything should be in place by July 1st for whoever is chosen. And we'll report the results at the April meeting. We'll have copies for everybody, and we can go over it and determine who we think should be the one who gets the bid.
Okay, so that's the actuarial services, actually, okay.
So does the actual, this board vote or approve,
Yes,
award, whatever? Okay.
yes, we would.
Okay.
And when we get the results, if you want to have, let's say there are 2 that you're really interested in, but you have questions, we can have them come in. I would suggest if we do that, we have a special meeting though, because we wanna be sure everything's in place by July.
Is that when the other contract runs out? When?
No, but in the RFP, we say that this firm will be responsible for doing the evaluation as of July 1st, 2021.
If it's not the current, company, all that data has to get transferred
Right,
to them, right?
right.
Before they can actually, so that, is it like a dual, for a month or so, a dual path where they get the new data and come on board and figure out what,
I think that's part of what we've asked them to describe in their proposal, like how are you gonna pull this off? Because we've never switched actuaries, so we're gonna need their guidance. And Chris will help us with that as well. It should be, I think it's just a file transfer type thing electronically. You know, when we went through this whole exercise 10, 11 years ago now, that was when we came to FIA and we switched everything except for the actuarial firm. And the reason we didn't do it then, we were advised not to do it then because the transfer of employee records and retiree records was pretty massive because they didn't have it as electronically together as they do now. So, it's not an insignificant process, but I think it's probably a lot easier than it would have been any time up till now.
but Segal has to, is responsible to transfer it,
Correct,
and they have that contractual obligation.
yes.
Is that the only, firm that's, I mean, does the town have its own electronic copies of these records as well? Or, so it's just Segal that's got it?
Right.
So does the town have the methodology to accept that transfer and store it too? I mean, that data and store it electronically?
We can look into that. I don't know what format it's in or what software.
I'm just wondering if it would make sense to,
You get a copy.
use, if we do move, to use that as an opportunity to, you know, make kind of a backup copy of what exists and whether that might make some sense.
Well, we'll look into that and have an answer.
Yeah, just out of curiosity.
There's also the possibility, Chris wrote this RFP for us, and then Don and I reviewed it extensively and made some changes. But one of the things that we kind of hope will happen is that, one of these other firms has more, has an ability to, with the applications and, all the back-end stuff is more user-friendly and that we would, have more of a sense of what's going on. And that it would have more, user, employee and retiree, you know, interface with some kind of online usage for them. But they're gonna have to propose that and make it clear how much that's gonna cost us and all that. So it should be interesting.
Nope.
Just, so you think there'll probably be a startup cost and because obviously to stand it up is gonna be a cost to them. So you think that's how it'll get broken down?
Yes, yes. There's a,
But Segal wouldn't have that cost if they bid it, so we have to
Right.
sort
So
of.
they're gonna have an advantage, obviously.
So we have to, in some respects, ignore that startup cost, right? And to really look at oranges.
Well, the bid is for an annual charge, right? There's
for the
no,
annual charge, it's also for, things that aren't part of the normal,
the individual determine things like they did.
Okay. Do they just give us a flat rate, or do they actually, have we asked them for, okay, what is your cost for this? We've done that, okay.
Yep. Yeah,
Well,
we'll send the RFP so that you have it, and then when we go to review it in April, you'll know what's going on.
Okay.
What we asked for.
Well,
Dan?
Hey, John, I assume as a normal process, I mean, at least the way things used to be in our old world, there'd be opportunity for bidders' questions. I don't know if they do that here as well, but if so, I would expect those other companies, if I was them, one of my questions would be, you know, what is the current format of the data? What system does the data currently reside in? Those would be questions as a potential, you know, bidder I would be wanting to know from the incumbent. So do they have the opportunity to ask bidders questions before they submit their bids?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I would think that would, I mean, my guess would be if I was in their shoes, those would be some natural questions I'd ask. How much data are we talking? You know, how many gigabytes of data? What's the current system it resides in? How is the data formatted? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they might even assume that we have it as opposed to,
Well, I don't understand that. I mean, the data obviously is employee data, which changes on a, if not daily, an annual basis. I mean, we hire new employees, people's salary change, so.
Well, we provide that information.
So we have that database.
Right. We
and-
just don't have it in the way that they have it set up to process the retirement, applications, or, you know, they have their own processing system.
Right. Now,
We have the data, but it's not, I mean, we have the employee information, we have their salaries, but once that, we do a census every year at the end of the year.
right.
So we provide them all that detailed information about how much the employees made, what kind of salary increase they've got, you know, how many hours they worked each year, that type of thing.
I mean,
They monitor, you know, like all the employees who were vested in the plan but no longer work here.
right, okay, I understand it. But for instance, like we're doing a retirement today. I mean, we could do that ourselves. And I realize that's only one part of it, but I mean, we know the person's last 10 years' salary and things like that. So if we had to do a calculation on, so that part of it resides with us. The other issue is, you know, this is a good opportunity to give somebody fresh data, you would think. Now, are these the people who also do the projection of every other year? Okay, these are the every other year you need to put, you know, X% more money into your account. Okay. Now, there might be a difference between organizations on what the things they consider and how they project that. Okay. All right, anything else? Dan, did you have anything else?
No.
Okay. So you said there were 3.
There are 4, including our current ones.
Oh, okay, because I'm looking at last month's report, and we said there was, last month's meeting, we said there were 3 potential providers. You mean 3 in addition to Segal?
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Are you the one who reminded me of that?
okay, all right, anything else? If not, let's see, we'll move along. Is there, so you're all set?
All set.
Don, Marcia, okay. All right, moving along, there's no old business, so moving along to new business. I make a motion to approve Segal invoice 14703 dated February 22nd, 2021, for 2 benefit calculations, $400 each for Teresa Fields and Ted Trawczynski, so $800 total.
Second.
Okay, any comments, questions? No. If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 5-0. Okay, I make a motion to approve the FIA invoice 609-2004 dated December 31st, 2020, the amount of $11,1675 for quarter consulting fees.
Second.
Okay, any questions, comments? No? Okay, all in favor?
aye.
Aye. Okay, I make a motion to approve late retirement benefit for Randy Dalton in the amount of $209,534 in the form of a modified cash refund effective April 1st, 2021.
Second.
Okay. He's a very valuable employee, longtime employee. Sorry to see him go, but wish him all of the best. I did have a question, really minor question, but when you look at the sheet, it has 2 birth dates, and they have the same title. Is that correct? I thought I read it a couple of times to make sure, but I assume one of them is his wife. One of them is April, and the other one is December.
Yeah, one of them is the beneficiary's date, which I assume that means, John, would be his spouse or whoever he designates as his beneficiary.
What did the first one say?
The first date of birth is 8/17.
Yeah, but what was the title on that one?
It just says date of birth.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. Yes, I figured as much.
Yeah, because if he does like
okay.
a joint survivor calculation, they have to know the age of the beneficiary
Right.
too, because that factors in, yeah.
Understood, okay. Okay, any other comments or questions? Mayor?
No, I mean, what was it, 27 years Randy worked for us?
Yep.
He did a great job. He, he knew his stuff, and there were several times that his knowing his stuff was called into question, and I assure you he was right every time.
Yeah.
So he was, he definitely knew his craft, and we certainly thank him for what he did.
And he had a wonderful mentor also,
He did,
his dad,
yeah, exactly.
who proved my first construction job, yeah. So, we were very, very fortunate to have them both.
Who's gonna replace? Coming up soon?
Yeah, it's coming up soon, all right, yeah, we've advertised the position now for over a month. We have 1 application right now. The applicant is not a certified building official, so that person would have to seek the certified building official status. So we are continually exploring options. But we have to get one quick because March 31st is very near the corner.
Slightly,
Height of the building season too.
yeah, slightly less difficult, maybe, than hiring a sanitarian, which is impossible.
Yeah.
Randy has agreed to, provide services, as needed.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, they'll kind of moonlight for us as needed until we can,
Oh, that's good.
well, he didn't say until we fill the position, but he said a month.
You don't want to say that.
He did not say that. I know fishing season is coming up quickly, and so he has committed to April, and that is it.
Okay.
The any building permit has to be signed by a certified building official, and even Liz can't sign. it.
Right.
So we're really, in a tight spot.
Just out of curiosity, the fact that he would come back and work for the town wouldn't affect his retirement, right?
That's correct,
No.
because he would not be an employee, he'd be an independent contractor.
Got it, okay.
Okay, any other comments or questions? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 5-0. Go. Did somebody hiccup? Oh, that was Dan. Okay, all right. I'm sorry, these mask things, I gotta tell you, I'm missing half of what people are saying here, but, anyway, okay.
Having the mask on make you hear that well?
Say that again? One more time?
Does it affect your hearing? Because certainly Dan doesn't have a mask on.
No, it affects, I can't hear, and unfortunately, because I'm going to get my hair cut, I didn't wear my hearing aids today, so, no, you just can't hear people as well with the mask on, and maybe because you can't read lips. So, and getting to construction, I mean, there is a lot of new construction going on in town, right? Up on Colonel Ledyard and some other places are still.
Yeah, there's new construction on Bellows Drive, which is a new cul-de-sac by Johnny Majors over off Churchill.
Okay.
There's Quakertown Meadows down
Right,
at the
yep.
old, whatever the farm was, can't recall it, but that one's they are moving along. As quickly as they're putting up houses, they're selling up to $500,000, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other projects are out there.
And that's beyond all the minor stuff, you know,
Yeah,
excuse
exactly.
me,
And then, of course-
sorry, Bill. You know, the additions and the porches and everything else,
I
yeah.
mean, the building department calls this, pool deck and shed season, because pools, decks, and sheds are very popular in the springtime. So that will all be ramped up. So
Yeah.
I would say April, May are probably the two busiest months.
Okay. All right, well, hearing no other business, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn?
Okay, we'll hear a second.
Second.
Okay. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you all very much.
So Mayor, this, state's talking about putting on a 1% tax on,
Yeah.
tax on everything over 300,000.
Yep.
And when you said, you know, selling for 500,000 or $500,000, I'm thinking, so there's,
Yeah, the math was wrong on that article in the day yesterday. It talked about like a $50 additional tax on the sample that they showed in there, and I think it was $140. But yeah, what they wanna do is a 1%, a new 1 mil tax across the state for anything assessed over 300,000. Anything over 300,000 gets the 1 mil tax that goes to the state, and then they distribute it equitably, in their opinion.
it's only on the excess above 300.
Yep, exactly. Right.
Now, is that gonna be a separate tax bill from the state, or is it?
I think so. They don't know yet. I mean, it's still I think it has a public hearing, a week from yesterday. So, yeah, that's a good question, it would be interesting if they ask our tax collectors to levy that tax to collect on their behalf to ship off to the state.
Right, that's gonna affect people's escrow.
Oh, yeah.
And everything.
Yep.
You know, it's gonna be a lot of, think of it, a house for $350 or so, which there are a lot of. You're talking about a $5, $50?
Yeah, on a-
You know, you're talking about a lot of small bills.
Yeah, it's, in this region, it's probably not gonna be as
Right.
impactful as it is gonna be down Fairfield County and some of those.
No, but
yeah.
it'll start at 300, then it'll drop to 250 to 200.
Yeah, right.
Once it's in
Yeah.
place, like
And there's
any other.
no $300,000 assessment, is my guess, in like Fairfield County, that whole area. And then the other one that's a big concern too is think about some of the insurers and their headquarters buildings. What does that number look like on a 20-story Travelers Insurance building? That's a big nut.
Yeah, there you go.
There was another one that just blew me away, and I made a copy of it. It is a proposed bill to prevent towns from foreclosing on any taxpayer 50 years or older until they are 15% behind on their taxes. So the 15% of their assessed value is where that limit would be. And so for us, in the Highlands, as an example, those people would have to be behind by about $15,000 before we could do anything, which is about 3 years of taxes. Sablewood's houses, went up to like $55,000 and about 4 years of taxes. So I think it would definitely create a crunch on the cash flow for a town, because we couldn't do anything.
Right.
And then, when they're behind, it now says that the current legislation is that you charge 1.5% per month, which is high. But the new legislation is you have to do the, prime rate at the time that they go into default. So now you have to calculate whatever the prime rate was for Joe Blow on October 10th. But then you gotta do it again, whatever the prime rate was with the feds in April for this one. So it's a very small number. And then of course, they also cap the legal fees. So there's, you know, if we have an attorney chasing the tax dollars, it's capped at, again, some small number. And so for a Highlands type house, we wouldn't be able to reclaim more than $2,700 in legal fees in that process. And just regular bank foreclosures usually cost $5,000 to $10,000. You have to get an appraisal, and you have to do all these different things. So, it's kind of a nanny state move, in my opinion.
Well,
You're not a responsible taxpayer anymore at 50 years old, you're just the state.
well, that doesn't keep that's just, you can't, foreclose on them, but if they have a bank, the bank can still foreclose on them, in which case, you know, you could, when the foreclosure sale actually occurs, you can get.
Yeah, so
recoup your taxes.
we'd have to then get paid through a foreclosure process that way instead of
Right.
unpaid taxes, yeah. I don't know who thinks some of this stuff up, but,
Well, I'll tell you, it's coming so fast, you know, you can't, the average, it's very hard for the average person, even who pays attention, to keep up with
Oh, yeah.
all the things that are happening.
You got then you got the zoning issue with the,
oh, yeah,
and
desegregation.
the thing about the I don't wanna call it low-income housing, what do they call it again? Affordable housing.
Yeah,
Is that, and we fought this, we brought this up when it came up before, but Ledyard has a tremendous amount of affordable housing. If you wanna talk about just the general term affordable housing, I mean, we've got a lot in Ledyard. We've got whole neighborhoods that are affordable, but it has to be in the 30G
yes, it has to be.
program. In other words, it's gotta be
Restricted affordable.
restricted affordable. But I mean, so if you have a house in Ledyard that sells for under $200,000, which is affordable, generally affordable, we've got a good amount of inventory in there, why isn't that considered affordable housing?
Yeah,
Right.
But again, because it's not in a program and it's not part of their, you know, domain, it's not, you know, can't be used.
You know, the other one that's interesting, and they're gaining steam, is Hope, Project Hope in New London. What they're doing is they're buying properties, they are splitting the land from the building, they're condominiumizing the land, they hold the land as a nonprofit, so it makes it non-taxable, and then they sell the house to the family in need of affordable housing. So we lose the tax revenues from the building lot, and they, obviously, if it's, say, $1,200 to $1,500 a year in taxes on the lot, we lose that, but then they take that away from the cost for the buyer, so it makes the buyer's payment a little bit more affordable.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, again, they're doing the same thing, they're just saying, well, you do this, and in 20 years, you can only have like a 3% gain or something like that if you sell. So there's a whole lot of things, that desegregate CT legislation that's going before, well, actually, it had a public hearing yesterday, 35-page bill, and that's the one where they wanna essentially do away with local zoning and just say it's gonna be a statewide zoning, and, you know.
yeah, I heard that, but I didn't realize it was actually at the hearing level.
Oh, yeah, so it was kind of interesting, they whisked it through very quick. The bill itself only came out on Friday morning with a public hearing on Monday, and it was a 35-pager. So to be able to digest the 35 pages, come up with a response, submit legislation, or be online for a Zoom meeting for that, made it difficult.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there you go. Once they get a hold of that, they'll be, oh, man, you won't even recognize your town.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I always say, let's see what they think about that down in, Greenwich,
Right.
you know.
Good point, yeah. Where the money is.
You always loved, you know, of those people, and then some of the suburbs of, Hartford and West Hartford and some of
Oh,
those
yeah,
places.
Avon,
Yeah, let's see what they think there.
they will not be keen on that.
No. But in some respects, those are the targets.
Yes, absolutely they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they specifically cited a number of Fairfield County towns as, this is why. You know, Westport is a great example. You know, we don't have any affordable housing there. People can't get in there if they want to. Well, yeah, it's an expensive place to live. So you choose not to live in Westport. That's why you live in different places.
Right.
but that's not really what they want. They want, everybody should be able to live anywhere in Connecticut that they want.
That's why we don't have to worry.
Right. Well, we'll see how much, I know the money talks, but we'll see how much money talks.
I know.
When it gets down to it.
Yeah.
Charleston's looking better and better.
No, yeah, no, I'm kidding, I'm with you.
I know.
I'm just trying to figure out where to land. All right, Dan, see ya.
But I'm sorry, I like the weather here, folks.